So yeah, as for Tractor, that's what I use pretty much to mix records now. I have a lot of vinyl here. Not as much as some people, but I have a good amount of vinyl. I used to play vinyl a lot, and I still do play vinyl. However, Tractor is pretty much a virtual program. I still use records, but they're these records. They're real vinyl records. And what happens is this interface here, this little box here, is hooked up to my DJ mixer. And that allows you to play these special vinyl. And you put the needle on this record. And it plays songs through a virtual program on your computer. So pretty much, I don't know how it's done. To tell you the truth, I don't know the technology behind it completely, but when you play the record here, like this is the other turntable here, you play the record, and there goes the virtual software right there. You could see it probably going. And it's just like playing a record. If you take the pitch control and slow it down, so is the song gonna slow down, just like you're playing a record. If you speed it all the way up, it's gonna go all the way up or down. If you go like this, it reads it just like a record. And then you'll see on the virtual program it going back and forth. Now, with the software program itself, there is master mode. So if you're on the turntable there, this orange dot here, and you know, as long as both of them are on, that means you are on master mode. You're just going through the pitch control on the turntable. You're mixing. You're actually mixing the records together. If this button is pressed right here, this little one, that means it's on automatic mode and you're syncing the records together. So I keep my mixing on master mode. That's my choice as a DJ. I like to really mix records together. But it is what it is. Some people like sync mode. Some people don't know how to mix, whatever. And some people might be in difficult situations, maybe a big arena, or maybe there's a lot of distractions in the DJ booth or what have you. So I guess some people are forced to use sync at times. Might be situational. I choose to keep my mixes on master mode because I like to really mix the records together. Now, when I mix, I look at the screen at times. I'm not looking at the pitch control. The pitch tempo here. I'll show you. This is the pitch tempo of the song. I'll show you. I'll move it up. I like it at like 129. Okay. I'm not looking at this, the pitch tempo, when I mix records. When I look at the screen, I'm looking at this here. That's the layout of the track. That's how you read the track. There's all lines here. You could tell when a breakdown is, like it kind of phases out here. Okay? And that's what you have to look at to know when to throw down a record. Like maybe right after a break, a song maybe breaks down and the beat comes back on. Maybe you want to throw it back on that beat again. And you just look for a little indicator there. When to throw a record down. Now, the tempo on the song, it doesn't even stay straight. You can see the numbers jittering back and forth. That's the tempo. Let me see if I can make sure I get that there. It never really stays constant because it doesn't really read it accurately where the tempo speed stays constant at a constant number. It's always fluctuating a little, so you can't even really go by the tempo speed if you were to even look at that to get an exact match with the record you're going in. When I queue up my records, first and foremost, I'm not even looking at the screen at all. I'm just queuing up records. And then once I have a song queued up and beat matched, as time goes on, then I'll look at the track layout to see where I am in the track and to see, where a breakdown is when I'm getting ready to mix a record, how much of a track is left because you want enough time for there to be a decent long mix. So basically, I like to have my mixes at least a minute long, usually on average maybe 130, and you know sometimes I throw in a 2 to 3 minute long mix, depending on the tracks. When I prepare a set, I don't really even mix at all. I just sit like this is a folder I have here of my last set, and all these tracks are in order here. So I went from this row to that row to that row. I wind up getting a lot of tracks. I didn't play them all that I got this time, and I didn't play them all this last time either. I pretty much sit down, go through the tracks, throw them in Tractor because you drag and drop them in here, like this side or the other side, and that's what turntable it's on. And then I'll just press play and play the song just to hear it. You could press this button and that'll play it, and then you're back to turntable mode. So I drag and drop tracks and I listen to them first to see what is the overall feel of the song. If it's more funky, if it's more laid back, more ambient progressive, because you want to mix certain songs with certain songs. You don't want a more ambient, laid back track mixed in with a funky house track in the middle of a set, and then go back to like an ambient. You gotta kind of build up. Start off with your ambient tracks slowly, and then build up. So I go through every single track, see that I purchase, get the feel of the track, see how it fits in the set, and then I arrange the tracks together. And usually, like back in the day when I used to play, it used to take me like, well, it didn't used to. I shouldn't say take me, but if I were to play somewhere, I would get a set together and I would use the whole week, to get a good set together. The last two shows I had, I got my tracks on Friday and the show was on Saturday. So with that, between that and working on Saturday, for instance, like last show, I only had maybe a couple of hours, maybe 2 to 3 hours to get a set together of 20 tracks. So I did it really fast, and I think I did a pretty decent job getting a pretty decent set lengthwise together. So that's the gist of what I do. I'll sit down and press play. It's not like I'm recording the set sitting down. When I'm ready for my set, I go to Pro Tools, open up Pro Tools, I have my radio station up, I have Pro Tools up, I record my set, and then that's live. I'm mixing live on the decks. Some people don't do radio shows like that, but for me, I just like the whole mixing live thing. So that's the route I choose to go. It doesn't mean anyone else's show is not as good as mine because they don't do it that way. In fact, I've listened to many shows that have great tracks, and really, all in all, that's what it's about. But I just like the whole mixing live concept to it. For me, it just gives it a more real feel to to having a DJ show live on the air. So I'll give a small demonstration. I really can't give a long mixing demonstration right now. It's a little later at night. But let's start it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start this song. They're both on master mode. Okay. I'll rewind this song to the beginning. And what I'll do is, this song is right now at 129. Okay. And I'll make sure that this song here is not even anywhere close tempo wise. I'll put the other track all the way down. It's at 113 compared to 129. You can hear how slow that is. Okay, that's much slower. So this is just to demonstrate that right now both of the songs are completely mismatched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the phone over there, I'm going to put it down, and I'm going to show you me queuing up a record and mixing it in. I'm probably not going to wait till the end of the song. I'll mix you know in and out. This more than likely isn't how the mix went on my show, but this is just a demonstration of how I queue up records and then throw them down. It's not on sync mode. Okay, so this is all controlled by the turntable, just like as if you had a vinyl record down. There is no difference whatsoever. Okay, so on your mark, get set, go. I had to rewind that track because it wasn't in the beginning, and this is, it's still on master mode. Just a little spin trick I like to do sometimes. Okay, so pretty much that's a little mixing of me going in and out. Same thing goes with scratching. Now, if you're a scratch DJ or what have you, and you use Tractor, what you would do is, I have MP3 files just like songs, and there's scratch samples on the MP3 file, just like a record, one scratch sample after the other. So this is one I have, you would drag it and drop it into a turntable, which is this, still on master mode. And pretty much you play the record, and it has scratch samples on it. I'm not sure which one is it. Whoa, there was curses there, sorry. But pretty much, there's just samples on them. Just like a record, you're playing a record. You're playing a record, you're going back and forth, just like a record. It's the same. It's just there's no difference whatsoever. Another good thing, just to step back about Tractor, is back in the day I used to. Well, I shouldn't even say back in the day. Over the past years, I used to get my records across seas. I used to spend maybe, let's just say I place an order for, 100, 125, $130. Because I used to get my records from across seas because, they had a lot of good records. And I used to pay, like, on top of that, $60 to $70 for shipping. So you got records, maybe you get like 12 or 13 records, and then you're paying on top of that $60 to $70 extra for shipping. So let's say the total amount came out to, let's just say $200 with the shipping. Do you know how many MP3s I could get for $200? 13 records for $200 with the shipping. You can get, let's do the math here. $200. If it was $100, you get 100 MP3s. So you get 200 tracks. Tracks are now a little bit more, so maybe you would get maybe like 150 tracks. And the records I was getting, it would just have a single on one side and a single on the other. And most of the time I was getting the records just for one song anyway. And so that's, 13 tracks versus 150 for the same price. That's a no-brainer right there. I love vinyl, and you want to know what? If I was doing a little better financially, I would get a lot of vinyl, but unfortunately, I'm not in that position right now. But I don't mind using Tractor because a lot of people out there use Tractor, and some of the top DJs in the world use Tractor. And all the DJs on tour right now are using also Serato, which is another virtual program. They have their laptop set up, and the CD decks go through Serato. There are big festivals where people use their laptops through the CD mixers, and they're looking at Serato. It's this Serato's the same thing. It's a virtual program. So using Tractor is not being fraudulent. It's not phony. It's not it's not anything what some people may say it is. It's a very good program for real DJs. And a lot of real DJs use it. A lot of scratch DJs use it. Some of the best scratch DJs in the world use it. And as I said, for scratching, it's the same thing. Here's a record. Okay, and then let me see if I can get a loop going. not my best scratching, but I'm sure you get the gist. So whether you're mixing, whether you're scratching, Traktor, when used properly like I do, is the real deal. So I just thought I'd post that. Um, you know, sometimes you see signals get sent your way. I'm not going to go into too much depth, but sometimes signals get sent your way, especially when it is known that you use Traktor. And I always say that I use Traktor, but it's it's just a smearing game. That's all it is. People that actually know Traktor, and it's real. What you're just doing is you're you're going through an interface, you're going through the records, and you're going into this program that reads them, which allows you to really mix as well. And that's what I do. That's on my shows. I'm really mixing. I'm proud to say. I know it's not looked upon as a big deal anymore, but it is for me. And to tell you the truth, it's a lot. It means a lot for a lot of people. Not too many people might know, but it does mean a lot to get in the mix and really mix records. That's all I have to say. Enjoy your evening.